Hello, this is take 2 of video log number 2. Did do one early this morning, woke up extra early in my case anyway, to do it, and got back, uploaded it, and all the wind interference was just a little bit too much, in my opinion, for people's viewing pleasure. So I've foregone the walking, and I've come down to the depths of the wilderness that is the back garden. And we're currently, I'm standing up against a shed covered with a massive holly bush and some odd-looking deciduous trees. And I said a few things in my first take that I felt were necessary. As I said on my Facebook page, I was going to talk about something in depth, and I did touch on depression again, as over the past couple of days I really have been rather despondent about things. I know there's plenty of people in worse positions, same positions as well, trying to find a new job, trying to stand on your own 2 feet again, having had to move back in with the parents because it all went pear-shaped. Rather humiliating in my mind, and as well as very depressing. And anyway, that's just a little taster as to what was going on in my head this morning. So anyway, hello, and thanks for checking out take 2 of video log number 2. Not going to be entitled the walking video log, just the hanging around leaning against a shed log, possibly. But anyway, I've noticed since my first attempt that I got fairly good feedback. A lot of people complimented me on openly talking about depression, which is a very sensitive aspect of health in a lot of people's opinions. And there's a massive plane going over. Shut up! God, no matter where I go, they follow me. Yes, it's a rather sensitive subject. I know plenty of people who do not want to talk about it or are embarrassed to talk about it. Me, I'm not embarrassed to talk about it, because at the end of the day, why should I take heed of what people say to me about depression because of their lack of understanding? And it's not my fault if they don't understand these things, the different intricacies and aspects about what make depression what it is. And I found a lot of people have just turned around and said, I don't understand how someone like you can have depression. And I have to agree with them. I don't understand, because the way I am socially is all smiles, having a laugh, having a joke, acting like a complete juvenile. But behind closed doors, it's a hard slug through a part of life that I would not wish upon anybody. So, yes, it's my food for thought on the problems that surround that. It's because I've had quite a bit of feedback on it, complimenting me and talking about it. And I've noticed a fair number of people around the globe have been uploading walking logs, thanks to the influences of Lisa and Buddy, mentioned again, shameless advertising. I was particularly pleased to see, big strong gust of wind through the trees, sorry if that interferes. I was particularly pleased to see, that's windy, Alex Laybourne and his 2 walking video logs when he was walking his pet zombie. That's a dog, by the way. So in case you haven't seen it, you should go check him out. It's really, really good. He doesn't, much like myself, I have to agree with him, I don't like the sound of my own voice. In my head it's fine, but recorded, no chance. But I find Alex's voice quite engaging, to be honest. I mean, he's surprisingly interesting. Or I wouldn't say surprisingly interesting, that sounds a bit derogatory, actually. No, he's a very interesting man. I mean, quite surprised to find out he's an isolated person, just like myself, as I said in my first video log. But he seems like a really lovely guy, and you should go check out his YouTube channel. This is linked to mine somewhere, so if you want to go and check it out, by all means. Really good guy, really good writer, really really friendly, so you can't go wrong with that, can you? Yeah, Alex. Secondly, another person is Melissa Lummis from somewhere in America. I can't remember where off the top of my head. Says, as you say, there's nothing on the top of my head at the moment, so I might as well go with that. But yes, she had a very, very good first attempt. She's even done a second one so soon after the first one. She spoke a little bit about fitness and also writing, and I particularly liked her second one because she went on about a subject that I found very well. I had a bit of a personal relationship to it. Her thoughts on happiness, getting your head together and all that, and I must say I'm 100% behind what she says about what people need to do to be happy. I mean, they say healthy body, healthy mind, and it does work the other way around. Because, as you can see, I haven't got that much of a healthy mind. Not because I'm a filthy-minded man, but just because of all these issues I've had, and I'm nowhere near that healthy, bodily-wise. So I'm going to take her thoughts on board, and it really did hit home, and yeah, just one of those things where I just got really interested, really intrigued, really engaged with what she was saying, and she seemed very passionate, very what's the word? I can't think of it at the moment, but you'll find out. You check her out, she's over on YouTube, Melissa Lummis. And we've got another person, a guy from Down Under, Carl Sinclair, another fantasy writer, much like myself, and I'm happy to see that he's yet another fantasy writer who's sporting the sexy beard. Very sexy, very sexy. And he said to me when I connected with him that, isn't it a necessity to have a beard if you're a fantasy writer? Well, certainly, and I look forward to chatting with him a lot more over the coming weeks, months, years, however long the networking seems to go on for. But anyway, he seems like a really nice guy, and he did a little 8-minute video, roughly. The Geek Walker #1, and he's over on YouTube as well, Carl Sinclair. I will link all these in my YouTube description, so fear not, people, fear not. So anyway, on to what I wanted to say. Look, 8 minutes of promoting other people, look at that. Isn't it shameful? But they'll appreciate it nonetheless. I wanted to talk a little bit about procrastination. Now, something I did briefly mention in my first log, when I was walking through the big Sutton Park, they were trying to push the procrastination demons out of my life, but of course it's one of these eternal battles that as soon as they set in, you're never going to get rid of them. You just have to learn to control them and battle them successfully. And I am a big victim to said word, and especially over the past couple of days I've really been putting things off, as I said at the start, of feeling rather despondent about things, but I find that doing these video logs seem to free up my mind, and voicing these concerns, these worries, these thoughts going around in my head to a audience who I know well, so far have been very complimentary and supportive. I know that I will feel better in the end, as I'm a firm believer of, firm believer, I would say to people, talk things out, don't bottle it up inside. But I've got no room to talk on that one. So yes, but I know a lot of writers, artists, anybody with creative endeavours, or even non-creative. I mean, it applies to everybody. I mean, I know where they say stereotypically procrastination is the writer's worst enemy. So, and it is, it is very much so, but some people don't seem to have much of an issue with it. But then again, a lot of people do, so it just boils down to who you are as a character. And me, I'm a procrastination victim. Really makes my chest ache sometimes. I'm like, you should be doing this, but you're not doing it, you're doing something else. It really does just grate on my nerves sometimes, and it can really get me down. Anyway, second point, I'm actually sticking to the script this time, more or less. Something I picked up from watching other people's videos. Melissa Lomis, again, hi Melissa, doing wonderful vlogs, keep them coming. She went on about how she gets her head into writing. She mentioned music, and that gave an idea to talk about what influences someone can get for writing a piece, prose, poetry, life writing, anything really. I find music has been the biggest influence in my writing life, especially non-lyrical music, trailer music. If people who don't know what trailer music is, it's just music made for film trailers, game trailers, anything really. It's just made for the sole purpose of use in trailers with their permission. And I find that sorry, I've got a really itchy nose. I find that one group especially, Two Steps From Hell, you can find them all over YouTube. I find that their trailer music is extremely influential in my mind, and they've got lots of epic sounding tunes. One of the most famous ones they've ever done is Freedom Fighters. So if you get a chance, just YouTube Two Steps From Hell Freedom Fighters and you'll know what I'm on about. It is so grand, so epic sounding. It's just one of those, it's one of those things that in my mind only an orchestra can produce. There's something about a grand orchestra that can really get the blood pumping, the heart beating, and the mind just churning over with unforeseen ideas. And it's amazing how these ideas can lead into the written word or a drawing, whatever your creative art may be. It's not just music I've found. I've found films, TV shows, books, things that happen in life, watching other people, and it's just, and sometimes even just nature itself can just, it's just seeing the epicness of nature. It seems to, it's just one of those things, it can't be explained. You have to experience it for yourself to even remotely understand what I'm trying to convey here. But I find that my best advice for someone who suffers with a lot of procrastination is try and set aside things that can really get your mind going, can really influence you. With me personally, I have playlists filled with music. In case I'm feeling a bit lost, I'll just stick on a bit of music, listen to these tunes, and see what sort of images can conjure themselves up in my mind. The advice to anybody is, if you're stuck, just take a breather, watch something that can influence you, something that will get your mind going, listen to something, read something, or even simply just take a break. It's one of those things, but I'm sure you'll hear that advice from loads of more accomplished writers than myself. I nearly said authors, but I'm not published yet. So, but at the end of the day, as long as you can do what you find is best, then it doesn't really matter. As long as you benefit, nothing else matters. So, yes. So far we have gone up to 14 and a half minutes. I'm doing quite well here actually. I'm nearly running out of things to say. So let's see if I can make this a bit shorter than my previous one, because that was just over 21 minutes long and it took forever to load up onto YouTube, about 2.5 hours, which was absolutely gut-wrenching stuff. So But anyway, I'm taking shelter under this tree because the weather is looking rather grim, and 15 minutes gone. I probably will wrap this up. It's not going to be terribly long. I think 15 minutes is enough for anybody. I hope so. So anyway, I'm sure I will get another video log recorded and uploaded within the next week. I wanted to do this a couple of days ago, but circumstance just didn't dictate that, as I was away from home. Yes, something has just come to mind. Speaking of that, I wanted to promote a rather gorgeously beautiful artist, very, very talented. It's my fiancée, Tanza T-Face Smith. I will link her Facebook page on the YouTube channel, and if you're on my Facebook, my writer Facebook, you will see in one of my uploaded photos is a character from my book entitled Secrets of Arcana Fortress, and that big 127,000 word long beast. I was surprised I had that in me, to be honest, and I've got ideas for another 2 books, making this into a trilogy, hopefully. But anyway, yeah, she did the artwork for one of my main characters, and she has been commissioned for another one, but she's got other stuff to be doing at the moment, which is far more important, and of course supporting her all the way. But yes, I highly recommend you go and check her out on Tanza T-Face Smith, fluffing my words there, and you have a browse through her artwork, and it's without a doubt some really incredible stuff. And she has been complimented by a very successful professional artist by the name of Matt Dixon, when we went and met him at a convention here in Birmingham, actually. And she had just so happens that she had a sketchbook on her, because she always carries it around. She's lovely like that. If the urge takes her, she'll just find a place, sit down and draw. She's very, very fun to watch. But anyway, he had a look through her sketchbook, and this was about four years ago, probably, when she was doing her first year of university. And he said that her artwork was far better than the artwork of most postgraduates that he sees, because he does a lot of university lecturing. And of course, she was overwhelmed with that. And of course, you don't know who Matt Dixon is. I'm sure you can just Google him, Matt Dixon, digital artist or whatever you want to. So he does a variety of stuff, published in magazines, in the internet, in textbooks, all those sort of things. He's very, very good. Excellent artist. But yes, he paid her such a massive compliment. And of course, she was so overwhelmed. It was probably one of the biggest highlights she's ever had throughout her creative career. But anyway, on that note, I've now bumped up to 18.5 minutes. I will sign off here, and I'm glad the wind hasn't interfered with me too much doing this. So anyway, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time, and hopefully I'll be out and about on a sunnier day walking. So enjoy the rest of your day, and see you later.